Zuma will appear in court again on the 26th of October. The former president's son making a brief appearance at the Randburg Magistrate Court this morning. That's just north of Johannesburg. ENCA's Aaron Bates was inside the court. We'll talk to your colleague Malungelo Boy, who was outside the court, in fact, outside the studio as well. We'll go to the newsroom in just a moment. What happened in court this morning?
So a very brief appearance from Duduzane Zuma. His father, former President Jacob Zuma, just 2 rows behind him, sitting to support him today in his appearance. Significant because we heard that Zuma was in the court precinct the last time Duduzane appeared in relation to this case, but did not step out of his car. And that was, of course, the same day we saw scuffles between AfriForum representatives and Black First Land First supporters.
All of this relates to a fatal car crash, if I'm not mistaken, 2014, yeah?
Yes, February 14, after 10 o'clock or around 10 o'clock on a wet February evening, Duduzane Zuma's Porsche Turbo 911 hit the back of a minibus taxi. Several passengers were injured and 2 people died, one on the scene, one some months later in hospital.
And demeanor of the accused in court today?
Well, one of our colleagues, a cameraman, said that there were moments that Duduzane looked quite worried. From where I was sitting, I saw him smiling, looking quite relaxed with his father, sort of giving a display of charm and relaxation, good demeanor, you could say, ahead of his court proceeding. Also coming to sit with several journalists and make small talk before he appeared before the magistrate. And it was a matter of minutes before the whole thing was wrapped up. And then a flurry of activity as presidential security accompanied him, his very well-known father, and some supporters out of court.
Were you part of that small talk?
Well, I did try my best, Jeremy. Now, I firstly addressed the former president, asked him how he was, and was hoping to kind of, launch from that into a few questions, perhaps about
Start with a soft question and then move in, yes.
Ease in there, respectful greeting, and then hopefully some answers on the state capture inquiry. He did respond and say he was fine, thanks. But then a security personnel stepped in and told me no interviews allowed. And then as Duduzane was leaving the court, he answered a question from a journalist on whether or not he'd appear in the state capture inquiry. I didn't catch it, so I repeated the question to him again as he made his way into a presidential vehicle, but he just smiled, grinned at me, and didn't answer.
Bail and any further word from the National Prosecuting Authority?
Good question. So we know that Duduzane Zuma was issued bail of 100,000 rand in connection with the corruption case. The same week he appeared in the Randburg Magistrate Court in July in this case, and there was a lot of controversy over him having to wear ankle chains when he appeared in court. But in this case, there is no bail. He's been released on a warning and asked to appear again on the 26th of October. And in terms of response from the NPA, Pindi Mjodondwane from the NPA in Gauteng saying that they want the matter to be wrapped up as soon as possible.
All right, Aaron, thank you very much indeed. I would imagine much of a flurry outside court as there was in court today, and that's where our reporter Malungelo Boy was positioned this morning. We find him in the newsroom. So what was it like outside, Malu?
Well, there was a lot of supporters, Jeremy, for Duduzane Zuma, and really people consistently coming out to show him support, because most people that are supporting him, Jeremy, say they believe that he's being prosecuted because he is a Zuma. Let's take a listen at what some of the people had to say to me earlier. Do you believe that he's got something to answer for? There's a woman who died in that accident. That's why he's in court.
Yes, but government must play the good role on it. It must be fair. It must not be not fair.
What is not fair about a person coming to court to answer for what they are accused of doing?
Okay, the problem is I don't know why Duduzane should be in court, because me myself I've been involved into car accident several times, and my issue has never been in court before.
But did someone die? Did somebody die in that accident?
No, but I was injured. I've been hospitalized through that accident. Okay. Yes.
So that's the reason why you're saying that there's more to this than it meets the eye.
Yes, there's more to this. There's political involvement on it.
Jeremy, those are just some of the people that have come out to support Duduzane Zuma, but also people that were present outside court were members of the BLF. Let's listen to what Andile Mnetama had to say.
We are also making a call to the Dube family, also even to Grace Mugabe. All black people who are under attack by AfriForum or finding that because they are in difficult situation, they have not been assisted, and AfriForum is taking advantage of them. AfriForum is manipulating their suffering and their destitution. We as Black First Land First are making a call to those people that let us work together. We will not interfere whatsoever with the investigation or the court processes, but we believe as black people, together as black people, we must find solutions to this problem, and we will have those solutions. We are not going to allow white people to come between us and to divide us and to make black-on-black violence.
All right, Malu, thank you very much indeed. In our newsroom, I want to